Let me change the color of my lights.
Hello, computer.
There we go. That's a little better.
So I guess we'll just roll without Renee.
All right, sorry, Renee. It was, you know, we knew you and stuff, and we're sorry that you couldn't be here. Okay, guys, so, you know, it's going to let a few people, oh, Jesus, already a blistering 15 people watching, including us 5. So, I'm going to try to run through Rockman 2 on a real Famicom, a real twin Fami, and a real cartridge. So, I haven't done this for a long time.
Are there any differences between this game and Mega Man 2?
A few boss titles are different, such as Crash Man and Clash Man. HP, the difficulty in terms of how much DP is done on enemies. It's much less in Rockman 2 than Mega Man 2. But
is it like like Mega Man, you can select normal or difficult, right? Is that the same in Rockman?
Yeah, the Rockman 2 is the American equivalent, I think, of difficult.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So there's no option for baby mode.
There is no option for baby mode. Oh, he's back.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that.
Let me make sure we got you.
Looks pretty good. How do you have it hooked up?
Well, what I have right here. You know what? Maybe I can just grab the camera here. We can get nude. I have Rockman 2 in my twin Famicom, as you can see here, and what we've got going on here is in the back we have a Neo Geo HD Retrovision adapter. And that's being piped into a Genesis Model 2 component cable, which of course, well, I just bumped it, which of course is jamming into the OSSC right here.
Nice. What's that horrible blue piece of shit next to that twin Famicom?
Oh, that's a Bandridge, Bob. You can burn in hell. That's a Bandridge manual SCART switcher, which is actually pretty good. Let me fix my camera back.
So Zach, I don't see all of us on the stream.
Well,
yeah, we got it set up to flip who's ever talking for the 4 of us.
Okay.
I see.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
Let's watch you totally fail at this.
Let's see. I want to start with.
Totally maintaining the record of only Renee having beaten the game on the stream.
Okay, let's see. 1 second.
I think you should fight everybody with just the Buster, except for that one boss that you need the crash bombs to blow up the walls and everything. So who are you starting? Who are you starting against?
I think I'll start with Metal Men.
Oh yeah, of course. Way to be not original.
Those friggin' blocks piss me off so much.
Here we go. You boys man the chat. I'm telling you, I've got to say, guys. I've got to say, Game Boy buttons. Game Boy buttons, that's where it's at. Oh my god, the convex buttons are awesome.
I really, because I always thought a couple times I'd put like NES controller buttons in a Game Boy. I did the opposite. I vaguely remember liking that better.
Well, Bob, that's why you're a moron.
See, that's why I always play SNES with Super Famicom controllers.
Exactly.
It's so much better.
Yep, I totally agree.
Funny, Scott was just saying the exact same thing. How I gave him a couple of extra Super Famicom controllers and he hates it.
Well, the problem with the Super Famicom controllers is the cord length is like
3 feet.
Yeah, it's
yeah, but if you
annoying.
have to use extension cords anyway, like if you're far enough away, then it doesn't matter because you're still going to end up having to use an extension cord.
Yeah, I put mine on extension, and it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, for some reason I just don't even bother with extension cords or anything, so I don't even sit on my couch when I play the retro systems. I sit on the floor like I'm 12 years old again, and like 3 feet from the TV. That's a 60-inch television.
I don't know how anyone would want to use extension cords with all that lag it introduces.
It's a good point, Steve. Thank you for bringing that up. You know what's interesting?
I even have a couple of chairs from kindergarten from our school board that are about like 3 or 4 feet away from my screen, and sometimes I'll sit on those to play, and it's amazing. It's like Nick says, right? You're sitting like 3 or 4 feet in front of the screen. You really feel like a child. It's amazing.
Now, right up here,
Zach, I think people were saying that your game audio was quiet, and when I just checked, I couldn't hear it either.
Bob, this is why we asked you religiously for 30
I
minutes.
asked you before. I told you. I told you. Turn it up.
I think it sounds fine.
The game audio sounds fine.
Yeah.
Okay, is that too... We'll take just a few seconds because there's going to be some delay. I increased it. Is that too loud in concert with their own voices? So, give it just a moment.
Yeah, I think that's okay. Keep going from now, and then we'll let people decide louder or quieter.
So, here's something interesting. These little enemies, these little stackers is what I call them. The difference between the easy version and the difficult version is they take 2 hits and they break apart in the Rockman version, just like that. Now, the way I like to deal with these is I just run to the wall. Run to the wall. That's how I do it. That's how we do things downtown.
Oh, it's the wrong value. Shit.
What you doing over there, Renee?
I'm soldering some bitmap bureau boards.
Oh, sweet.
Hold on a second. Let me fix this
32
real
megabit
quick.
ROM cards for Genesis, which are meant to house Xeno Crisis eventually, but I need them for testing because I'm rehauling the UMD software, as you all know. Well, as I've mentioned, maybe as not all know, but...
Now, there are 2 ways of taking out Metal Man. You can either rush him, where he'll jump around the screen, or you can just hang out in the back. It really depends on what you want to do. I'm just going to hang out back here because, well, it's fun.
This is a relaxed stream, so.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah, like, we're not gonna be talking about crazy technical stuff.
Yeah, you know what was not a relaxed stream? When we were driving from the airport to Renee's house, and I made some dumb joke about wanting to pee on Canada. So we pull over right after a rainstorm. I run into the bushes and start to pee, and all of a sudden it was like that scene with Nicolas Cage and the Wicker Man, like he's like they're covered in fucking mosquitoes. I'm having to like pee away the mosquitoes that are trying to attack my junk. It was horrible.
It's amazing.
Yeah, he got out of his vehicle.
Canada peed on me.
They say just a
You got
hair
all of it?
louder, so I'm gonna just crank that up a little more. Okay.
Bob was getting out of the vehicle, all proud. I'm gonna pee on your fucking country, and then he comes back running like a little girl a minute later. Oh my God, I'm being eaten alive!
That's exactly what happened. I'm still. My mosquito bites on my legs are so fucking dark. It looks like it's so bad right now. I'm covered in them.
Let's take out Bubble Man.
It's Bubble Man produced bubbles because he farts in the water.
Well, I mean,
Because that would be cool.
Use
So
the
what are
Metal Man.
some
What
of
a
the
wuss.
some of the casual topics we wanted to talk about.
I don't know, whatever. I was actually curious. So this is like, a perfect game that you could totally buy the Japanese cart for.
Yeah,
Cause,
no localization would bar you from enjoying it.
Right. So, and obviously you could get like Rockman 5 way cheaper than Mega Man 5.
For
but
sure.
Are there other, what games would you put into that category versus you should just spend the money and get the US version?
It's hard to say.
'Cause I never know
Obviously.
when I'm out. I always think I'm
Damn,
gonna go
double
buy
prizes.
a bunch of Famicom cards because they work with the AVS, but then I never really know whether the localization is going to be an issue.
Well, I think there are games that are better. I think the Contra is better on Famicom.
For sure. And Super Double God damn it. Super Double Dragon. Much better on the Super Famicom. A Final Fight, games like that. Certainly much cheaper. Donkey Kong Country, those titles are vastly cheaper. The Mickey...
That's Super Famicom, though. What about,
OG Famicom? Oh, the Marios. Let's see.
I mean, the Marios you can get
There you go.
for
Fucking
cheap.
weirdo.
you can get for cheap in the U.S. copies too. So, I'm like looking for games that like would be expensive to get in the U.S., but you just got the Famicom version, it'd be cheap and it wouldn't be an issue because I couldn't read anything.
What about that game that Little Samson that everyone's always raving about? Is that cheaper in Famicom? Probably. Yeah.
I don't think that game was ever released on the Famicom. I think that was a
No?
Wisdom Tree game, wasn't it?
I don't know. I just know I see it pop up on Facebook groups every once in a while for like $400 or $500, and I think to myself, "There's no way I'm ever paying that much money for a game."
Can't remember, was it? I think one of the years at Retro World Expo, they at their auction thing, they either had a Samson or a Flintstones or something like that. People got into a bidding war over it. I'm just like, I can't believe this.
Oh yeah, at the
I
auction.
got any left? Yeah, I got a little left.
Is that the year you got the Pure Solar that's gonna blow up your Sega Genesis?
Yeah, I think so, totally. Still have never
Yeah.
plugged it in.
I got one of those.
Yeah, I thought you said you plugged it in and it got warm or something, or Renee did maybe.
I think it was
Mine got a bit warm.
Hey,
I even got the.
Castlemania. Ryan's here.
Oh, hey Ryan, good to see you.
What's up? Cheers.
Little Simpson.
You Little Simpson, great Konami title.
So yeah, what's everyone been up to lately? It's been a while.
Oh, you
feel
know,
like.
stroking my Johnson. That's about it. Oh wait,
once
sorry.
we set up all the furniture at the office, I just sat in front of the empty wall and just stared. That's what I've been doing.
Whoa, you guys have furniture?
I think I got any this. Nope.
All I found in there was a bunch of porno magazines and a jar of mustard. Whoa, I had mustard.
Zach, somebody's asking how you liked the Cadet Hyperkin NES controller.
You know, oh, the Hyperkin NES controller is actually pretty damn good. I have to admit. The membranes, which, god damn it, I got distracted. The membranes of that controller feel very much like original equipment, like factory equipment, and that's really hard to kind of find, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I really liked that one a lot.
Yeah, the Scout or whatever it is, it's a phenomenal little controller.
I have the Hyperkin Genesis controller. It's pretty decent.
I mean, that's one thing I've got to say. They do a fairly
They did decent on their controllers.
good job on that, you know.
So
Way to go.
I gotta ask you guys a question, and this is something I keep forgetting to ask you. But Genesis 6-button controllers. There are reports of well, first it's not compatible with certain games, but there's also people that say it adds lag in certain other games because of the way the buttons are processed. Does anybody know about that?
I don't think. I mean, the way those buttons would be
Renee
processed.
question.
Yeah, it's Renee.
Not-
Question.
I don't think.
You're
I
talking
don't
like a
think
few
the
cycles.
the way, the way the buttons are read is. I mean, it does take longer, but I don't think it's anything that a human can notice.
Like microseconds.
Yeah, you're
right?
talking
No.
like
Cycles.
cycles.
Because there's a multiplexer in there, and usually the three button controllers, it's just the line is low, the game will read a certain set of buttons, and then flip the line high and read the other set.
That's
For
right.
the 6 button, it just has to do that toggle a few more times for the additional 3 buttons to expose themselves. I think it has to toggle 3 times, and then the 4th time the additional buttons come back.
So then
So,
it
I mean,
really
that's
is
it.
one game, and the way this one game is programmed, there people have been reporting the lag, and not just a generic.
Yeah.
if you
Ah,
use a-
God.
Yeah,
God.
probably, because I mean, we're talking the order of maybe like a few dozen, not even a few dozen, maybe a dozen 68K instructions at most to read the 6-button controller instead of 2 or 3 instructions to read the 3-button controller.
So it's
Nothing that's going to be
something,
noticeable.
something to do with how they're pulling the buttons. Then they're just doing it in a weird way that might screw things up.
Yeah, maybe. Because, like I said, the 6-button controller is designed to count how many times the toggle, the TH line has been toggled, and it has to time out eventually because games will usually read the controller input once per frame, right?
Mhm.
So if it's toggling fast enough within one frame, then it has to expose the extra buttons. But if it only toggles a few times here and a few times here, it can't expose the buttons. So there's a certain timeout feature that's built into the 6 buttons.
Okay, and it was Forgotten Worlds. The description is it reads controllers too quickly for the pad to keep up.
Fuck you. Not you,
so,
Bob. Not
yeah.
you.
Oh, well that would totally explain it. Yeah, if the game is reading inputs more often than it should, then it's definitely going to trigger the expose function of the additional buttons.
In Double Dragon 2: The Revenge, there's supposedly input. It still works, but there's noticeable input lag, whereas Forgotten World doesn't work at all.
Yeah, but who would play those shitty games on the Genesis anyways?
I was about to ask. I don't remember that game on the Genesis.
Let's see. What do
Which
I do
one?
next?
The Double Dragon 2?
Double Dragon 2: The Revenge.
I thought that was only an NES game.
No.
Oops.
Sega Mega Drive it's Japanese only.
Oh, okay.
Fantastic PC Engine title, though. Let's see. What palette do I like? I like that. See, I can change palettes on the fly. All right, let's do it.
How are you changing palettes on the fly? That's some mod that you have?
It's yeah, I put the boardy board on here that has a little micro on there that lets you change the. Hold on a second, Nick. This is very difficult gameplay. Lets you change the palette with some button combos, and it has a built-in in-game reset.
That's pretty sweet.
It's much better than a Switch, for sure. I wanted to make sure that. All right, now let's make sure.
That's something I've yet to do, is change the palette on my NES RGB. I know you guys have told me quite often that it's worth it, but I've never taken the time to do it.
Totally worth it.
And you're like the one person who would already have a Altera programmer.
Yeah.
I've got many of them. I've got spare ones in case I
Yeah.
break it. You know?
Yeah. Other people have to buy that just to do that, and they do it, and you're just like, yeah, I would do the same thing.
I don't think I've updated my AVS since I got it. I wonder if he ever put out firmware that had palette options or anything like that.
I wonder if he ever put out. You know what I'm saying?
It's like the 78 SO5 mods, right? But like Bob gets here on Saturday and we're pulling out the SNES and he goes, "You don't have the 78 SO5? You gotta do it now." It's like, fuck, you're gonna make me
Let's see.
Oh god,
Just a
what a
second.
disaster.
Yeah, so I did.
I'm hoping Bob never comes to visit. Oh damn it.
Yeah, I put Steve in the slave labor tank when I came to visit too. I just haven't had a chance to edit those videos because I think they need a lot of follow-up. Part 1, teaser, it's a 2-part video. Part 1's fine, but I want to get part 2 ready, and I think I'm gonna have to do a lot of work with my scope to get the correct pictures up. But I absolutely hate the Rigel PC software. It constantly crashes. Like if I reach over and turn a dial on the scope, it'll crash that one. And then if you use the app to switch between inputs and do it there, sometimes it just freezes and it won't refresh at all.
Have you
Did
ever
you
thought?
update your Windows 98 to 2nd edition?
I got Windows 10.
I'll never beat him like this. I'm trying to farm some energy.
Hey Bob, there was a bunch of people in the chat asking. You might know this because you cover like the news and the info everywhere. Is there like a good resource for up-to-date GBI info, Game Boy interface info?
Yeah.
What a fucking asshole.
Just delete your website, Bob.
It's not a joke, Bob, either.
It's definitely not a laughing matter. Are there more cloud coverage in this version?
You know, that might be that's a good that's a good point. That's a toughie.
Anyway.
It's so hard watching this with a delay because I hear you yell and I'm like, all right, where's it gonna die? Where's it gonna die? Where's it gonna die?
Oh, I'll try.
Adds to the
I'll try to refrain from that.
Refrain from dying or from screaming?
From reacting.
So maybe something nice to talk about too is something else Bob and I did a lot when he was here. Is we played lots of guitar.
Oh well, that's what you
Yeah,
call
Renee
it
is
these
a
days.
significantly better guitarist than I am. Like there is absolutely there's no one would walk by us playing guitar and go, I wonder who's better.
Are you guys both self-taught a guitar? Did you ever take any formal lessons?
I've taken formal piano lessons up until grade 5.
Mm-hmm.
Oh damn.
Like grade 5 piano. I can't play at that level anymore, but I mean, I got the bass in theory from there. Then I did a lot of like theoretical guitar work from different books that I bought. But yeah, mostly self-taught for guitar.
Damn, he despawned.
I took lessons for about 2 months, so I learned what a chord was, what a note is, how to read tab. Basically, I learned the roots.
How to read tab.
Yeah. I mean, if
You really
you've
got
never...
your money's worth out of that course. This number 5.
I was
that
12
means
years
press
old.
on the 5th fret.
I was 12 years old, man. Give me a break.
And
But
when
yeah,
the numbers
I
are
learned
stacked, you play them
I
all
learned
at
the
once.
skills that you need to learn on how to teach yourself easily. So I did have a little help getting started, but yeah.
I don't think this guy responds to the panel. Let's see. Does he respond to? Fuck it. I'm a champion. So don't fuck around.
See, but I learned all about amp modeling from Bob this weekend. I had no idea there was such an advanced state that it actually is. So,
Yeah.
he made me spend a
Spam
lot.
the shit out of him.
I spent a lot of money.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that
What
was
modeling?
the thing. That was the thing that I was not leaving there because I had spoken to Renee about different recording boxes and things, and I got the impression that it was one of those things where unless you've seen it yourself, I can explain it till I'm blue in the face and you won't get it. So I
Yeah.
forced him to sit down, plug in, and play with these things, and play with one of my patches that I made that sounds exactly like the amp that I own. So yeah, there's different software that when I started this. Started really doing it seriously 5 years ago. It was okay. Now they're amazing. Now it's very hard to tell the difference between real amps and the patches. But yeah, what was the one that you decided on that you ended up liking?
Your butt.
Well, I'm looking at 2 solutions right now, and I'm not trying them until I get my professional audio interface in because I don't want it to suck with my my crappy line in on the computer. But I'm really interested in PV Revolver 4 and Amplitude. Those are
nice.
looking like they have some really good features.
Impulse
Yes.
response is phenomenal. If you guys have ever messed with those.
But I mean, so the PV Revolver, the thing that's drawing me more towards PV Revolver, and I get why they would build that into their software, but I can only see it being useful for engineers. Is that if you load up an amp model, say you load up a dual rectifier in PV Revolver, you can actually right-click Edit. And it will pop up the schematic of the amplifier, and you can tweak every single resistor, capacitor, transformer values. You can change the tubes. You can modify the schematic of the amplifier, and the response will change accordingly. I think that's amazing. I also think that it's a feature that probably 99.9% of the users are intimidated by. They'll probably open that up and think, "Oh my God, that's black magic," right? But for someone like me, it's brilliant. I want to go in there and change those values and try it out because I've actually, I've built a tube amplifier. I know what goes where and how to affect the sound. So I'm totally amazed by that, and I want to pay $100 just to be able to do that.
Well, just to be clear, a lot of us, like me, would see a feature like that and go, "Yeah, I don't know what this is," but then I'll just keep changing buttons until I hear the sound change and then decide on what it is that I want. So laugh all you want, but that's certainly a good way to do it. When we were messing with demos and stuff for this, one of the things that I noticed was that there's all of the amp modeling software until recently wasn't smart enough to cover a full range of sound. So if it was too high of a frequency for your average human, your average middle-aged adult male to hear, they wouldn't be able to control it. So I would, maybe after living in New York and hearing nothing but sirens and screams for like 2 years, I probably can't do that anymore. But I used to be able to hear all of that.
I wasn't paying attention.
Uh-oh. Oh, you just kept... Oh, that's funny.
I can do that. I don't need that. I was trying to be cheap.
Yeah, so they've improved it. But I used to be able to put these patches in, and then I'd do the mix, and I would have to drop the master volume down to like half, and then raise the volume after it was bounced, because I think they call it harmonic distortion. It's probably not the right, I'm probably mixing two terms, but regardless of the terms, I know what my fucking ears heard, and now that's different. It's way better.
Like that.
I think that the technology's at a point where, people can't tell the difference between both.
That was a nice glitch there.
Up! I gotta remember the timing of that. Dun dun. And then you gotta jump in the... Okay. This might take me just a second to remember.
Someone asked in our previous video comment section what guitar pedals we all use.
Right there, okay.
I can start. I use 0 pedals. I hate pedals. I think they're the devil. Everything that I do is either in an amplifier or in an effects unit, and the only controls at my feet are MIDI controls, and they just send out commands to the rack units. I don't like distortion pedals. I think distortion should be generated in your preamplifier, and every other effect I think is better in like a high quality like TC Electronics effects unit or something like that. So I don't use any pedals.
I used to use a Maxon 808 when I was running a Laney Ironheart 100 watt or 150 watt head. But ever since I got the EVH 5153, I don't need any pedals. All I use is a tuner, that's it, really.
Is that Maxon like a Tube Screamer clone?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I use a few. I have this Electro Harmonics memory.
God damn it!
Which has like...
I forgot about that.
Basically, echo and the kind of reverse effects.
Reverse racism?
Yeah,
is that an analog delay? Is that like a bucket brigade delay?
I am not sure. I don't know how it's designed. I'd have to take a look.
I know some of those boutique pedals, like instead of having RAM to generate echo or to generate delay, they have a chip that's called a bucket brigade, and it's just a whole bunch series of capacitors, and they have transistors in between, and they just kind of drop the charge onto the next capacitor, and there could be like a line of 2048 or a line of 4096 of these capacitors, and they use that to generate analog line delay.
I could crack it open. I also have this clone
Gets me every time.
chorus pedal, and then the only other one actually the one I use the most, if I can get it off.
Good luck with that, Nick.
Yeah. These are all like Velcroed down to a shitty pedal stand that I have. There's this loop station, which is pretty cool if you ever want to jam with yourself. Like, you can record stuff and turn loops on and off.
Every time! I'm getting fucked there, boys. The only pedals that I use anymore, which is pretty seldom, because I undo all of... I'm a believer these days, if you have the right software, digital modeling is pretty good. But,
yeah,
I like to use... what am I doing? An MXR EQ pedal. I like to use an MXR not a compressor, the distortion pedal. And
where do you put the EQ?
And then I use a chorus. Wait a minute. Let me think of what the. I don't think that's an MXR pedal. I think that's a Boss. I think I have an old. Do I still use that old Boss chorus pedal?
CE1, CE2, yeah.
I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'm gonna have to look. But I've honestly, it's so much more convenient for me just to patch into my M Audio Fast. The preamp is pretty weak on it, but I have an M Audio Fast Track Pro. I've had for about 10 years. I'm not thinking, so I can't play this. But I interface through that little preamp that little USB capture interface. It has a pretty good ASIO driver, and I just model most of that stuff digitally. I don't mic it. I don't mic any cabinets or anything like that.
You know, I was just wondering if our talking about music stuff was pissing people off, and then Thumbbob creator Dave just threw us a $5. Said he likes the casual stream. So thank you very much, Dave. And all right, cool. Let's here we go.
All right, thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
It's awesome.
So
Oh,
I know I'm the
Bob.
oldest one.
Now I get it.
Yeah. I know I'm the oldest
Dave
one
is
here, but
also
did you guys
the-
ever use a metal zone pedal?
Oh,
back in the
dude, we just talked about that. Oh, wait, no, we didn't. Yes, I had one. I spent like an ungodly amount of money on that piece of shit.
90s? Yeah, everybody had one.
It's so
Metal
horrible.
Zone is an awful pedal.
You know that band, oh god, Emperor, their first album with that awesome song, I Am the Black Wizards? They recorded that whole album with a metal zone directly into a 4-track, and then they did some mixing wizard, but they were all like 16-year-old Norwegian kids that just, they just felt like that's all they had, so they figured, fuck it.
I had a Fostex. I had a Fostex 4-channel, and I think I had 2 virtual channel tape deck recorder. It's pretty cool.
I don't play guitar, but I actually got pretty good at a different instrument.
The skin flute does not count. We've been through this.
No. Like I got pretty good. Like I can nail the notes like every time. It's the tuning fork.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Every single time.
Skin flute.
All right. I gotta pay attention.
Yeah, when I say that I use pedals, I should say that I like almost never play electric guitar anymore. I just don't ever hook it up. I used to use it a lot more when I was recording music, and now I just don't do any. I just fiddle on an acoustic and never make anything meaningful.
I was showing Bob my library of
Every
written songs,
goddamn time.
and I was going through a whole bunch of songs, and I would play it, and then I would play it on the computer because it's in Guitar Pro format. Then I would go, I have zero recollection of this song or ever writing it, and I have no idea where it's going. Apparently, I wrote it though.
And then 2 minutes later, you'd be playing it on your guitar sitting next to it.
Yeah. So I mean, I used to play a lot. I still play a lot, I would say, but I don't practice the stuff I've written, and that's about to change now that I've discovered amp modeling. So.
Yeah, well, Renee is definitely doing a solo on the next album, whether he likes it or not.
So what electric guitars do you... actually, Andrew Wright, thank you, man. He threw us $5 as well. He was enjoying the music chat.
God!
Holy crap, did you get it, Zach?
No, it's the fucking... I forgot about these bastards. What do you call these guys? I'll just take the hit. I can't... The guys in the mechanized bodies, they have a really goofy name. Okay, let's see if I still have the Heatman pattern down. I don't think I'll need anything special here. It's actually pretty easy.
Nick, the question was what kind of guitars we have, or?
Yeah, what kind of, what's your main electric guitar?
I'll go get it.
Yeah, I can just show mine.
Yeah, you just need to move out of the way.
So my main guitar is this Ernie Ball Music Man JP6 Mystic Dream. It's the John Petrucci signature model. And the defining feature of this guitar is it has piezoelectric pickups and magnetic pickups. So essentially there are 2 outputs. One of them is an acoustic output, one of them is an electric output, and then you can switch between the 2.
That is super cool.
Yeah, so you can have a mixed electric and acoustic sound, or just acoustic, or just electric. So I have 2 signal chains really, and yeah, it's great. There's I've owned it for about 10 years, and I've never found another guitar that plays this well. I mean, I'm told that it's too easy to play, and people play too aggressively on it. So you have to. It's a light touch guitar because it's so easy to play.
Very low action, huh?
Well,
Yeah.
I set the action with a digital caliper every time I change the strings, and I set it to 40 thou, just above the 12th fret. It's extremely low.
Sure is.
Yeah, see, for mine, I got Dave Mustaine Rust in Peace guitar, but nothing about this is stock. Nothing at all. Because I play I play rhythm and I play very heavy-handed, so I have to have, you probably can't see it in there, but I have to have high action. And I even, nothing about, like, I had all the frets grinded down because the frets were too high, so I couldn't have a, every time I pulled a pinched harmonic, it would stop playing. So this was, you know, the pickups are custom wound. I finally, after, you know, years of playing, I finally found a guy that's that understands how I play guitar. Because I went to some supposed pros before that were like, you know, the best around supposedly, and they all set it up, and it looked very nice. But as soon as I started playing, the strings would hit. So, yeah, this is I bought it because it was beat to shit. I don't know if you could see that, but the ends of it were all smashed. I was able to like paint it back. So I bought it expecting I was going to have a beater guitar to just leave at the studio, and this is the one that I ended up using mostly because I molded it to my hands. The only other guitar I ever had that played better than this was a blue one, but that one was a little too customized, and I think I got too fat to play it. I think I just looked strange because it was too small of a body.
Let's not fat shame here, please. This is an environment for everybody to.
I can fat shame myself. If anybody has a problem with it, they can fuck right off.
My guitar is not nearly as cool as yours, but I was like, back in the day when everyone was getting Stratocasters, I was like, I'm gonna be a little different. I picked up a Telecaster. This is pretty much the only guitar I play. I have a
Maple neck too.
an Epiphone something or other that I inherited, but I don't really play it. And it needs work. It's kind of janky. Actually, the Telecaster needs work too. The electronics are all.
I have a variety of
scratchy,
guitars.
stabby.
I've got a
Too bad you don't know anyone who's acquainted in electronics to help you fix that.
I started poking around with it, but I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I think I'm just gonna take it in. I'm sure the guys at the local shop will be able to figure it out.
Yeah, the only other one I have left is the Peter Ewers bass, signed by Peter, and it's got this thing called a monorail bridge. This was the thing I was telling Renee about the other day.
it.
So each one of the strings essentially has its own bridge at the end, so that way you could beat on it pretty good and it won't go out. But I don't really play bass. I just kind of have this just because I record bass. But I love this. It's kind of cheap and it does everything I need. But other than that, I had to pretty much sell every other guitar and piece of equipment I own. And I still have my first guitar ever that's signed by John Petrucci, In Flames, Michael Romeo, and Dave Mustaine.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I got a shout out to Chandler Depeche Mode, Dep Mode. He donated $5 at Go Voultar Go.
Thank you.
And I don't even know how to read this from Aaron Welsh. This must be a reference to something. Rod Torfelson's Armada featuring Herman Menderchuk. I don't know what that is. Sounds like a character that would be on like Saturday Night Live or something, played by what's his name, Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald.
iCasho said he's asking somebody to donate for him because
Shut up, Steve.
he doesn't have a super chat in down there, so he's asking someone please donate $1 to see Voultar's nipples. Can't wait anymore.
God damn him. Straight to hell. Yeah, we're moving right along.
Asking for a friend.
There we go. I was having technical difficulties with my magnifying helmet.
That's what Voultar's playthrough is also called. It's called technical difficulties.
Thanks for that. Paul Gilbert's phenomenal song.
You're pretty far in. Already got only 2 left, huh?
Oh yeah, we'll be at Willie here soon.
Yeah, but then he's
Yeah.
got to do the tower.
That's not a big deal.
Zach, I heard you talk about palette switching before, but do you remember exactly which ones you have loaded in your NES RGB?
I really don't. I know they're not stock. I think it might be. Ooh, I want that. Let me think. I think it might be the Naked Arthur and FBX palettes. Like the Wave Beam. I think one of them is the Wave Beam.
Yep. I have the Sony, the Wave Beam, and the one of the
That's what I have, Bob.
Yeah, and the last FBX, and each one I find them all to be awesome. But now that I have the option to switch between them, depending on the game, I will actually swap and use the one that looks better to my eyes for that game. But yeah, those three are definitely my favorites.
At what point do you guys think that there'll be enough pallets that they could make a Family Feud question out of them?
You're such a bastard. I love it.
Top 100, 100 people survey, top 10 answers on the board. Name your favorite NES RGB palette.
I don't know. That's a good question, though.
It'll be a trick question. What game is it for?
I'm gonna take a look at the latest firmware for. I wonder if he started doing palette stuff for the AVS.
He did add, I think he had FBXs on there and maybe another one, but it would be cool if there's enough room on that chip. It would be really awesome if Brian added like 5 or 6 of them. And
Ooh, I don't know, man. Too many options. I'm gonna have to disagree.
Well, I think having the Play Choice 10 option is very cool for people just to see what it's like. But I think that's one of those things where in almost every case, it would only be just for fun. Like, hey, let's see what this looks like with his other palette. All right, fuck it, let's go back to one of the better ones. So that one would be on there just because I think it'd be neat. But
does he have a place with a changelog? Because you can download the bin file from.
No, I don't think his site's very easy to navigate either. I think there's.
Who are you talking about? Benny Hinn? Who?
ABS, Brian.
Oh, yeah, super nice guy.
Yeah, I love Brian. His website could use a little work.
Oh,
Yes.
Bob, come on. Let's not do that, Bob.
Let's look in the mirror, Bob.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'm in the middle of it, man. I'm in the middle of it.
I'm gonna fuck you up.
Oh, here we go. I found a changelog. 1.3. All right, let's see. Oh yeah, 1.2. He put palette selecting, FDS menu buttons, Gradius 2. I don't know what that means.
Oh, VRC, VRC2 mapper, probably. VRC4.
Pale frame sequencer. Let's see.
Remember.
1.3. He put in horizontal interpolation.
Which Kevin removed, I think, from the high def. Didn't he remove that?
Why?
I think he removed the interpolation option and took it out of the menu altogether. And that's why some people prefer the old firmware, because he removed that.
Huh.
Fixed audio popping. Well, I have to install this. Because I must be on 1.1 then.
I hope I can fuck him up, boys. This is getting rough. I'm really
Is there a
rusty.
simple procedure to update the firmware on the AVS?
Is there a JTAG port, or can you do it through a cart?
No, you got to do it through a USB connection. But other than the fact that you have to plug it into a computer, it's super easy.
Wait, you have to plug the console into a computer? Is not a.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's the power port also has data on it, right?
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, I love this guy.
I haven't done it since I bought the thing, so I totally forgot. Do you need to download like some software to flash it?
I believe so. But yeah, you do. So that's why, whenever you know where to get the software and whenever you're like, if you know the steps to take, it's super easy. But it's always frustrating because now you got to go to the website. Is it this software? Is it that software? I wish you would add the option to upgrade through.
Wait a minute. Everyone stop. Everyone shut up. Seriously, this is really bad. I'm sorry, Bob, but I'm watching the replay of me playing this, and there's so many like good orgasm cum faces that I'm making while I'm just annihilating these buttons. I look really ridiculous when I'm getting into the game. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, don't worry. There'll be memes of it tomorrow.
There's got to be some gifs of this. Because there's a delay, but I'm sitting here doing this.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that before. When me and you did that stream where you were playing, what were you playing? Something on
Something on the PC Engine. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's ridiculous. This should be a. This is a goddamn crime. Damn, I was off.
I've seen that face when
Shut
you're
up,
not
Bob.
playing video games.
Shut up! I knew it. I knew it. You sick bastard.
Ryan asked how many people know what interpolation means.
No, that's a good question. I don't think we've ever talked about
Probably
that.
not.
Probably 4 or 5.
Yeah, well, I think
6?
a lot of people think they know what it means as well.
Why don't you give us a quick refresher for the again, Nick?
No, I'm not going into technical
It's
stuff.
not
No,
that kind of
we
stream.
answered his question. How many people?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Not a technical stream. And people have been giving us money because it's not a technical stream.
Oh, you have to have the scoreboard software to update.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Did that ever take off or become anything? The whole idea of keeping score
no
and uploading
way.
them.
I think the same 8 people that were begging them for the feature are loving it.
Now,
Yeah,
Bob.
I mean, it was like the thing basically uploads to the Atari Age forums or something.
Nintendo
Age. Yeah, so
I've
the
already
problem with
lost
stuff like
interest.
this is that's a very cool feature that I think a lot of people would know. How many people know it's out there? So that's the
Oh,
kind
I mean,
of
yeah,
thing
it's
where
a
like,
super cool feature, but I just don't think it's going to appeal to a broad audience. But yeah, I mean, super cool idea. I like it a lot.
yeah, and I mean, I hate sales and marketing. I would just stay with the nerds if I could choose to the whole rest of my life. But this is a perfect example of, if Brian spent a chunk on marketing and went to an event and went to a trade show and held an event on a whole bunch of AVSs that uploaded the results to the forum. I think if something, you'd have to drop a lot of coin, but I think if people realized that that's even an option, a lot more people would be using AVSs.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sure.
hold on, I need another beer. Excuse me.
When did Jordy from Star Trek: The Next Generation join the stream?
Fuck you, Mom.
It's just you, Renee.
Fuck
I'm
you.
soldering. These are TSOP 48. I need a bit of enhancement on my eyes.
Great job picking up that spare, Jordy. Fuck you, Mom. Fuck you. I'll never get over that ever.
We got another super chat.
Oh yeah.
I was just wondering, guys. I kind of played with it again. Has the audio been okay to our viewers out there?
Oh man, we got Doug and Castlemania Games both donating $5 in the hopes that we'll make a Jaguar cable.
This has no bearing on that. All this money is gonna go to like SoundCloud.
This
SoundCloud hosting.
No, this is all going to Bob's Alcoholic Anonymous program.
We are ready to help you.
Didn't some guy already make like 10 or so adapters for that? So the market's saturated.
Yeah, the market is saturated. There's nobody left.
Oh, it's over.
Doug, did you pick up one of those?
From Uncle Jody, I think his name
yeah.
is, right?
Yeah, that guy.
Voultar's best buddy.
Yeah, that guy's got some fucking issues. I don't mince words. I mean,
Yeah, it's that guy. It's not you at all. But yeah, I'm curious if Doug picked up one of those. I thought I saw them talking over Twatter, discussing picking one up. He did not get one. Sold them all. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make any more. He probably realized it's way too much work for not any gain. Like, I think it was just a kind of a passion project. I don't think
My opinion is you can't use that 5-volt line where he was getting it from. It's current limiting as it's
already coming out.
yeah.
Sorry,
there's
guys,
like 180 ohm resistor in there, so.
Are we talking about the Jaguar adapter thing?
Yeah, he sold a bunch of them. I mean, I think he must have made at least 40, 50, because he was making them for both the SNES and Genesis cables.
Let's see. I think the boomerang quickman shit's the best here. Fuck it.
So yeah, I mean, I've never heard any feedback whatsoever from anybody
Everyone-
on them. So I'm really curious as to how they've worked out for people.
I gotta get in position. Everyone, shut the hell up.
If I had to guess, if you put it on the scope, the sync voltage was probably going like this.
Yeah, but did it result in issues for anyone?
It depends on the device you're hooking it up to.
Yeah. No,
Oh God!
It would be interesting to hear the results back from people.
Hey, have we heard anything out of Watermelon Games and Paprium lately?
Are you kidding?
Ah!
We only talk about things that'll exist on this stream.
Well, let's talk about the HDMizer.
Oh.
No technical talks because we know that thing's not been vetted out yet. So that's.
Yeah, what will come out first, the HDMizer or the Paprium? Paprium?
I don't know.
What is the guy? What weapon are they vulnerable to? These little shield guys. You want to remember?
I thought you were good at this game.
I don't remember what they're vulnerable to.
I always use the regular buster throughout the whole game.
That's okay. I'll do that. Okay. Let's try it again. Let's see, bubble lead, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, what the Paprium guys said back.
The pap smear guys.
March. Yeah,
It's okay. I mean, we all have our, hang-ups.
I think that back in March or April or May, whenever they sent out that ridiculous update, they said October, but I would not hold my breath for that one.
Which October?
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
Aaron
So
Welsh
they-
asked about the triple bypass, which you posted something today, right?
Yeah.
I did a great deal of work on it today. I completely rebuilt the schematic and the PCB in KiCad, and I released a prelim for review today on Twitter. I absolutely did not expect any feedback, and I got a lot of feedback from RGB Source and from GameTech USA, and it's all useful feedback too. So I'm gonna do the changes. Most of the changes that they recommended.
Oh God!
RGB32E as well.
Oh God! Hey Nick, come on, let's not do that. Who is RGB32E?
No, like one of GameTech's feedbacks was something that I thought of. I looked at it and I said, "Oh, it'd be great if I did sync here instead of RGB here." That I said, "Oh, that's way too much work. I'm just gonna put it like this, and the layout looks good anyways." Then he made the exact same comment. And I got, fuck. So if he's noticing that too, and I felt like that, then it means I have to change it. So I'm probably gonna spend a couple more hours on that layout, just changing which signal goes to which pin on the 7374.
Yeah, listen to RGB32E. He knows what he's talking about.
No, it was GameTech.
Oh well, Jason
Yeah.
certainly does, but you really need to listen to RGB32E. He's an asset to the community.
I even texted Jose when you sent me the GitHub link, because I was like, yeah, I could definitely make these boards, but it's going to look like I have a severe case of Parkinson's or something, because I want you to make it for me so the board looks presentable on camera. He said no problem. So as soon as the boards are ready, I'll order the parts and we'll have a professional assemble it for me.
Okay.
Yeah, because when the Gerbers are ready, I don't think I'm gonna be in a position to order some and to test them right away. So I'm just gonna put up all the files and I'll say that they're released as is, untested, whatnot. But I don't think there should be any issues with it. I mean, the first rev worked. The problem was the connector was misaligned, right? But
God damn it!
Electrically, it was fine. So I'll post the bombs and the Gerbers and whatnot, and I'll recommend what kind of plating you're supposed to get and everything. So
See,
it
I
should be
think
fine for people.
I
Even
mean,
if
I
you
have
order
a-
10 assembled, you probably pay like $100 to $150. So it might even be worth it to do that and save yourself the effort.
No, because I know. Well, first of all, I know a lot of people that could assemble those boards quickly enough. But More importantly, I think it's, my strong opinion, when you have a project like this with so many people just really wanting to contribute, technical people too, as long as you say, hey, here's the design, it's untested, but please give me feedback, I think people will love that. I think even if somebody orders 3 from Oh Shit Park, spends the time assembling them and finds a bug, I think it's, as long as people know what they're getting themselves into, I think that's fun and exciting. You get to test something new and different. As long as you don't just put it out like, this is perfect. You could all use this exactly the way it is right now. Oh, no. Sorry, I forgot to pull up resistor.
I got a farm now.
Yeah, like it is going to be a fairly tight assembly because the BOM is over almost 55 components, I think, and it's all within like 1.2 inches by 1.5 inches, so it's definitely extremely compact. So it's not a beginner's project by any means.
Is that a polite way of saying definitely don't let me try it?
Oh, you could. You could be a nice way to teach yourself how to deal with failure.
That's nothing, Renee. The circuit inside the Retrovision cables is smaller than that and has double the amount of parts.
Yeah, sure. I mean, and I'm all of my stuff is 0603. I refuse to go smaller. I think you went with 0402 on your, right?
So that was the only way.
Is it? I mean, this is a very dumb beginner question, but is there ever, in the confines of the voltage in these consoles, is there ever a time where you'd think the component's too small because they can't handle the voltage?
Can't handle the power.
Power.
Right.
Wattage.
Sorry, wattage. Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I put 0603s in spots where.
On the mains line, because he pulls mains power. He uses 0603 for that. PAL LAN too, so it's 220.
That's right. I stacked 2 0603s on top of each other.
That works. Man, this sucks. I hate this part.
Right. Yeah, but stuff I expose to the outside world, I usually, if it's low ohmages.
I can't farm anymore. I don't know what to do. I guess I can go down here and fuck this guy up. I don't have enough.
Because 0603 are just 1/10 of a watt, right? And that's you can run into that fairly quickly, especially if you're gonna do things like turn on an LED or even drive like an audio signal out. And if you're considering the load that you're driving into, you might quickly run into the power rating of that resistor. It's definitely things to keep in mind when you're designing with small surface mount components.
Yeah, and 0402 is like, what, a 16th of a watt?
Yeah, it's even smaller.
Yeah. 63 milliwatts. Yeah.
Nope.
Right.
God. Motherfucker.
How you gonna pull this one off, dude?
Well, it's not going to be too bad. I can always do this.
I think the best strategy is to just before not sucked at it, and then you probably would have done it.
I've got to say, you. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. I'll just farm down here real quick. It ain't no thing.
Hey, did anybody hear any updates about that guy that was threatening to sue everybody for calling him out on bad mod work?
No.
That one made me giggle so fucking much.
Wasn't it just you?
No, that was like I was considering talking about it on the roundup, and I was like, I don't really know if that's the right place for it, but I just thought that was absolutely amazing. Some guy did shit work, and people said you do shit work, and he was sending emails to people saying that he was going to send cease and desist letters from his lawyer, which on the one hand, in America, you could sue anybody for anything. I could sue Renee for being a better guitarist than me. It's just...
I'm not in America.
Point being, like, if this guy really wanted to do it, he absolutely could, could send cease and desist and bring him to court. But it's laughable, and it's funny at how many people would get a cease and desist letter and might shit their pants and shut up. But stuff like that with me, like all you're doing is now, if I was making comments, now I'm screaming comments. Like, screw you. There's absolutely no way. So, I was really enjoying that one. I was sad that I didn't get a cease and desist letter myself, to be honest with you.
You didn't
I would
scream
have
loud
framed
enough.
it.
Sounds like fun.
To answer your question, no, I haven't heard anything.
I guess Mobius said that he closed his account.
He closed his Twitter account. Yeah.
Didn't he open it and then close it?
I think he opened it just for the sake of responding to whoever
Yeah,
posted the
yeah.
initial picture, which was
fuck.
terrible. That poor Game Gear. Jesus.
I know. And then I think one of my favorite parts was when the big reveal where he was like, "Well, the secret's out. This is iFix Retro's eBay account," and they were like, "Yeah, it's on the fucking website. Like it's because it doesn't say iFix Retro doesn't mean it's a secret. It just fucking."
You know, I know sometimes I get a hard time because I'm so critical of the eBay modding culture, but I'm sorry, that is a prime case in point example why I have such a vigorous opinion on eBay mods on eBay.
Yeah, but look, before you continue, I do have to jump in here. As much as I genuinely love busting your balls, you don't ever fuck with people that post pictures of their own mods. You give feedback, you help people, you give your opinions. But if somebody posts a shit mod saying, "Hey, look what I did to my Genesis," you don't attack
God damn
anybody
it.
ever. It's only the eBay morons that are like, "I'm the best. You could buy this brand new HDMI Atari 2600." I can't wait to see what happens.
I think we all know what happens.
Oh.
I got too
Yeah,
close.
that's rough.
Okay, I gotta stop using the Quick Man thing. I gotta just go back to the Power Buster. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with Dragon Lord. I really don't. He's not even that hard.
A lot of this is not very hard.
I know.
Ooh, burn. Oh man, I just went through like a half hour of, probably more, probably close to an hour now of
God damn it.
building this Dreamcast environment. Well, I spent 3 hours trying to build it last night, and that failed. I just tried something else now, and it's got like an hour through and is missing a JPEG library and
So
failed.
Is it part of tools that were available during the Dreamcast day, or is it something new that's been developed?
No, it's
No,
some
it's-
Linux nonsense that's gonna
Yeah.
cause an infinite amount of problems. Like
Yeah,
it always
so-
does.
Yeah, this guy.
Is it the Callisto environment?
Yeah, it's Callisti OS Chaos or whatever. Yeah, I mean, if you do Google searches for building an environment, there's all sorts of people who've kind of put up instructions, and most of them are wrong and incomplete and don't have all the things you need to do it. So I'm trying this one thing that I think this is how I built it last time,
God.
which is something Artemio, our Lord, sent to me, and it's just working through these like annoying little quirks where, yeah, this .h file is missing and it craps the whole thing out. And I don't even remember where you're supposed to put that .h file for it to.
I don't have enough. I need one
Oh.
more little.
Just experimenting with hours and hours of trial and error until I get it right. At least this time I'm going to document it, unlike last time.
Yeah, because I recall you've been through this before.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through it before with Dreamcast and PlayStation and Saturn and
If I recall, the PlayStation was a lot easier to deal with.
yeah, PlayStation is actually fairly trivial.
It's a lot like the Sega Genesis one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just yeah, it's pretty quick if you find the right piece of software. Like if you just were to look for PSX SDK, There's a newer one which I tried to install and get running, and it's failed spectacularly, missing all sorts of like linkages, and so I went back to my email and found what I did last time, which is an older version that's hosted on code.google.com, which doesn't show up in Google searches. Like, you really have to dig to find it.
I noticed you.
Hey, hold on one second.
Did it go into our folder that has all the old stuff?
Hey, Zach, somebody in the chat said if you farm with P, you won't kill the spawn and won't need to scroll the screen.
It's okay. I mean, I don't mind doing this.
Sorry for interrupting. I just figured I'd throw that in there.
Do we have a folder that has all the old stuff? Where is it?
It's in the engineering folder under cables, software.
Oh.
Damn it.
There's
Yeah,
software.
I forgot that this was here.
There's software, mechanical, electrical.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing because it's under those. Yeah, all right. I'll start moving stuff to be all under the same place.
Yeah, you do that. You do that, Dick.
Yeah, this is a pain in the ass to keep all this stuff straight. And regardless, it needs to be documented.
Is that something you'd be willing to share with everyone on how to set up those Dreamcast environments when you figured it all out?
Yep.
Awesome. Not that I plan on doing any of that, but maybe some people would be interested in setting up the SDK.
Yeah, totally.
And this would be instructions on how to set it up on a Windows machine.
Yes.
I'm surprised that the Dreamcast IDE hasn't been updated, and that it's so antiquated.
I don't know that it's antiquated. Like,
Well, didn't the Dreamcast run some version of Windows, right? So...
CE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not always running.
Right, not all games use that environment either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you have to. Your software has to load it, I thought. Like,
Okay,
Worms,
so when
I
you...
think Worms Armageddon uses it, I think.
So when you run your Dreamcast game, you're still in control of the hardware, like a classical console. I would call that.
I think with the Windows CE, you have an API that basically it runs on top of, but other development tools and other games. That's why so many Dreamcast games, up until even a couple of years ago, in Null DC, which was that really popular Windows Dreamcast emulator, of all the Windows CE games would not work. Really strange. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm just listen. I'm trying to stroke it. This is a good place.
I'm just glad you got past that dragon thing.
Yeah, he was fucking me up. All right, let me get. I want to do you.
but yeah, I mean, it's certainly possible that the Dreamcast software is being kept up to date. I don't actually know how much work is still being done on it. But yeah, this bash script that builds the environment from scratch, like, does a bunch of git pulls. So if people are maintaining, it's gonna be the latest version.
That's cool.
Why didn't you go for the other one? There was a whole lot of power-ups there.
Because
You had to release the rocket a little higher so you could reach the ladder.
I'm doing pretty good on that, actually. I mean, I'll make it. Oh, this is a good farming area, anyways. Wow, I'm not getting anything.
Wasn't there a spot where I was farming a lot on Minus Infinity
Oh yeah,
with
It's-
drills?
yep. Yeah, there was a spot near where the. Ooh, nice. Yep, there was.
That game is awesome.
Yeah, it's the best. It's the best Mega Men game ever. Period. Full stop.
Rockman minus Infinity?
Rockman 4 Minus Infinity.
You guys still... There was an upgraded version of the ROM that I'm still trying to find.
I think that only fixed some sound stuff. I don't think that, like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
no,
think-
no gameplay or anything?
No, it wasn't anything like. It was a very minor.
Gameplay's too perfect.
It was a very minor update. Which, you know, the Rockman Minus Infinity uses the MMC5 chip, so you have an extra sound channel, which means you can charge up the Buster and have the Buster, you know, the charge voice going, the audio going, without it canceling a voice channel out for the music, you know. You don't have to sacrifice your music for that sound effect, which is, oh god, which is pretty cool. Come on.
Somebody wants to know how exactly you get a Rockman Minus Infinity on a cartridge. Do you have to use a donor?
You have to use a very specific donor, an ET-ROM or an EK-ROM. Oh, I forgot these don't regen, do they? Shit. Okay, I gotta time this. 1, 2, 3.
It requires a lot of
3.
partner support. I was encouraging them through the whole process when I was over. It's like, Steve, I don't think I can do it. I'm like, you gotta believe.
Does it not run on an EverDrive?
No, because of the MMC5, but I believe it will run on an Analog NT Mini.
Just take the hit. Ah!
So wait a minute, the EverDrive doesn't support MMC5?
You gotta scratch my penis pump. No, it's not that. It's a matter of the EverDrive not supporting any game that has a character or prog ROM larger than 1 megabit. Or 1 megabyte, excuse me.
There you go. Sorry about that. My mistake.
I thought it was when the EverDrive tries to run that game, it actually reverts down to a 1.8 volt flash, and so you're running 5 volts.
I knew something like that was going to come.
Actually, the N8 EverDrive uses SRAM.
And the N8 EverDrive, I think, has level shifters too. So
Yeah.
this is just all playful.
Here we go.
Oh man, it looks like it compiled now that I got that script in there.
Nice.
Now, time to never use it.
Yeah. What do I do next? I forget.
Hey guys, we're finally ready to release our Dreamcast project. It's your PDF document on how to just.
Yeah, there you go.
Software.
That'll be a good gag. I will totally do that.
Well done, Zach.
Thank you.
That was a good gag. Actually, I thought the PS2 game shelf was a good gag. Bob, I used your tripod for that.
Ah, there you go. There you go.
It came into perfect use.
Yeah, Steve now has a camera and a tripod, so no excuses for not putting out good content.
Content? I'm only putting out gags and skits and bits.
And spice. You're supposed to teach us about the spice, and not the one in Dune either.
Oh, dude, if I ever showed you the, so I did a spice lecture at the Hackerspace, and the picture I used, oh man, I gotta send it to you. It's pretty funny.
It was a Dune reference?
What's that?
It was a Dune reference?
No, it's
Oh.
something.
He's disappointed.
It's pretty.
I am.
Dune is
Love that
pretty
movie.
cool. Great book.
Like a fine-
I have a shirt that's like
Oh!
looks like a whiskey shirt, but it's, you know, basically Dune the spice. And I wore it to one gig, and I was like, I want to see how many nerds we have at this gig that are going to know what this is. And there was only one, but it was worth it just for that one nerd.
You know what I liked a lot about Dune?
Patrick
Is,
Stewart.
No, on DOS back in like around 94, 95, I guess, was Dune 2, which was like a real-time strategy game,
Oh, yeah.
kind of like Command and like a precursor to Command and Conquer. I thought that game was amazing. I played the shit out of that game.
Hmm.
Did you guys ever try that?
No.
It was very similar to Command and Conquer. Like you had to farm earn credits, and then you would build your base, and you have to invade the other base. So you get to pick if you were a Treaties or Harkonnen, or and you had to invade the other guys.
I don't remember what this guy's vulnerable against. I'm just going to pull out the good old-fashioned.
Hey Bob, I sent the that link to you. Oh, this guy, the Quick Man. Pretty sure it's Quick Man.
Also, I'll put this in the chat. I'll put the picture.
Oh, you can put pictures in the chat.
I'm gonna put a link to the picture.
You can put links into the picture in the chat.
I think if you're an admin, you can.
We're making it, fellas. We're making it.
Did you ever see? It was a documentary called Jodorowsky's Dune, about the guy that was originally supposed to make it, and then how it came together and then fell apart.
No, I never saw that.
If anybody's even remotely into any of that stuff, I highly recommend watching that documentary. But both just because it was fascinating, and you hear all these great stories about things that came after it. But I guarantee you, the story about the movie he wanted to make is way better than the movie would have come out anyway. So it's kind of perfect.
I can't remember. Where's the false floor? Oh, yeah, there it is. Well, that's why we filled this up. Yeah, I'm doing really good on resources. Okay. Rockman 2. Yeah, I mean, Mega Man 2 is super easy, but Rockman 2, it's quite a bit more challenging.
Oh, Mobius Strip Tech says he has that Dune game. I remember back in that time, I would tell people that my favorite PC game was Dune, and they go, "Oh yeah, I love Doom." It's like, no, not Doom, Dune. You have no idea how much better Dune is. You have to think.
In Doom, you have to think. You have to think about what cheat code you're going to use.
That's right.
IDDQD. Nice.
That's not something you can forget.
God.
And what's the other one, like
I did that
IDKFA?
Yeah, that gets you all the keys and all everything.
ISPOPD.
Duke Nukem 3D.
ID Spot. What does that one do?
That lets you select from a bunch of. No, that's clipping in Doom 1.
It's no clip.
It's no clip in Doom 1, and then in Doom 2
it's
made it
ID clip. Yeah.
ID clip. Yeah,
That's right.
I remember Beam Me Up Scotty in Duke Nukem 3D. God damn it, I did it again.
Oops, you
Did it again. I played with my
parts.
All right.
No more copyright infringement, boys. Those two.
Stream is devolving into
You know something
Britney
I want to
Spears.
test? I wonder if the bubble lead will show you. Yep.
It does. It does show you.
Or the bubble. Is it the bubble lead or the bubble lead?
There you go.
I think it's lead. It's like the holy water in Simon's Quest.
Holy butts. I should be maxed out on E-tanks now.
Voultar, I'm so glad you're here to entertain us.
Oh, hey.
You said anus.
Entertain us, anus. Oh, yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. That would have been epically bad.
That's looking good.
Oh, no, no, no. Oh, I'm an idiot.
Just when I thought we were gonna score.
That's never going to happen. All right, let's be careful.
So, I don't know if there's any astronomy fans out there, but I'm kind of a small-time amateur astronomer, and in early August there's the Perseid meteor shower that's coming, like around August 10, 11, 12 roughly is when the peak hits.
Does it do 9,999 damage?
Yeah, what's the DPS on that?
When there's no cloud cover, it's really spectacular to go and have a look at. Sometimes it'll even coincide with some nice northern lights up here, so that's something I always like to take the next day off and spend the night outside, try to snap some pictures.
Oh, for fuck's sakes!
They're real and they're spectacular.
There's not enough Seinfeld jokes on this stream. You're definitely right.
Usually it's old Simpsons.
Yeah. Those are just about the only two shows I watched as a kid. So. And Fresh Prince. Actually, I watched the hell out of Fresh Prince too.
Of course you did. Well, I watched the hell out of those after-school shows, but then when it was Friday, everybody watched TGIF.
Oh, of course. Step by step, day by day.
Day by day.
You know, I met the kid who played JT once.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he was just like a chubby Guido, and he came into the gas station I worked at when I was 16, and he asked if I wanted to ride in his Trans Am, which was actually really beefed up, Trans Am. I was like, yeah, sure. Everybody that I worked with were like, that dude's totally gonna try to bang you. And he wasn't. He was very cool. But
was it any good, Bob?
He comes back like a week later and asks to use the payphone so he can call around for places to see if he could buy guns. I'm just like, dude, you know this is not how it works, right? You gotta get like a permit and shit. And he's like, yeah, but I'm an actor. Like, I'll just keep asking. I'm like, oh, your life is so different than mine.
Did he also go into the gas station and steal your milk and chocolate syrup and put it in his mouth and mix it in his mouth?
You are a sick bastard.
Awesome, I think you're thinking of Cody, though. I think you're thinking of the tall, skinny one.
That was Sasha. Sasha Mitchell was his name. He was in all the shitty Bloodsport knockoffs that didn't have Van Damme.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think you're right. Steve, you're right. That was the other one. He had this manager that was trying so hard to be Don King, it was embarrassing. Even at like 16, I was like, dude, stop. You're at a gas station. Turn it off. You don't need to be Don King.
You're at a gas station. Turn it off.
When I was in San Francisco 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I ran from my hotel to the house from Full House.
Oh, yeah?
It's pretty unimpressive. But apparently, and the only reason I thought to do it was because there was a news story on, like the night before, about how the city is going to ban the tour buses from going down the block because like all the neighbors are just so annoyed.
Are you supposed? I can't remember this. Are you supposed to jump right there?
Yes.
There's no way I can make that.
You're supposed to time it so you jump, and by the time the platform gets to you, land, I need to jump really quickly again.
Where's Crash Man?
But yeah, in any case, apparently because of Fuller House, there's been a renewed interest in people going to see
Crash
the house.
Man. God
all the
damn
neighbors are just like super pissed and annoyed, and it's getting like super crazy and crowded during the day. Just people out there all day taking pictures of a stupid house that looks like every house it's next to.
Yeah.
And to make
Dude, don't waste your Crash. You need it for the boss.
I don't need the boss up here. The boss up here doesn't require Crash. That's the guy. This is where I just have to use Crash Man. I have to have Crash Man ready to go.
Sorry, Nick. Go ahead. I said Crash.
Not like it's super important.
I want to hear the rest of that. I need closure on this anecdote.
To make matters worse, I guess the creator of Full House bought the house recently.
Oh God, really?
Like nobody knows. Like everyone's in a panic over what he's going to do with it. He's going to turn it into like a
museum.
Yeah. So.
Well, obviously the inside's not going to look anything at all like in the TV show. So what's the point?
Yeah.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
My little brother makes fun of me so bad because I've watched a few of the newer ones and I liked it, and he's like, "You're an idiot. That's a terrible show." I'm like, "Come on, it's better than the reality TV shows you fucking make."
Voultar, make sure you have full crash before you
I
start
know, I know. I'm just filling up here because I'm going to have to farm on these bastards.
I watched a couple of the newer ones too. I mean, and it's just as cringy as the original. So like, if you're into the original, like, you're gonna like it. I guess.
As long as there's John Stamos, it doesn't matter, right?
There isn't really. Like, it's a new show.
There's no John Stamos?
Well, those
Every
guys
now and
make
then.
appearances.
He's a
but-
recurring character, but he's not a main character.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is Bob
That
Saget
doesn't
still
make
in it?
sense.
Is Bob Nutsack still in it?
Is Bob Saget still in it?
He
Yeah,
has the
he's
same.
He's recurring, but yeah, it's like all those guys are like, they're not
'Cause-
fixtures of the show. They're just there to, you know.
How about Roseanne?
Whenever I see Bob Saget in something, the only thing that pops into my mind is his cameo in Half Baked.
Yeah.
He gets up and he goes, "Have you ever sucked dick for coke? That's an addiction."
He's pretty awesome in Entourage as well when he made his appearance there. And he's just
You ever
like
seen him
all
live?
into like 20-year-old girls, and he's got like 3 of them on his arm, and Vince is all jealous.
Have you ever? I like it at the end where Vince is like, "Who is that guy?"
Yeah.
Have you ever seen his stand-up?
He's not very funny. I don't think his stand-up's any good, really.
Oh, I saw him live at Jones Beach a couple years ago, and I was pissing my pants the whole time.
I should
He
have.
was so foul, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, which is why, like, it's not the same person as Full House and,
Yeah, Bob said
America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yeah, I feel like my
He's
childhood was
talking
kind of
about,
ripped from me,
America's Funniest Home Videos, where he's making corny jokes.
which was so terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
He's
me
always
now!
doing that same
Yeah.
little voice
Oh.
in every. Yeah.
Whoa, Bob Saget appeared in a Quantum Leap episode? I don't even know that.
Oh yeah, dude.
I love that show. That was a good show.
Scott
Yeah,
fucking
dude, that's one
Cocula.
of the few shows that I have, like, all the episodes. I'm like,
I know what episode Jack's thinking about. His favorite episode.
Which episode?
There's a lot of episodes of that show that just, like, could not air today. Like, totally could not.
Wait a minute. Is it the one where he's a black man? Is it that one? I think they had to take that one off the air. Period. I mean, I'm dead serious.
There's one where he's a guy with Down syndrome,
Yeah.
and he looks at himself in the mirror and he goes, "I'm retarded." Like, there's just no way that could air today. Just no chance.
What about the one where were any of you guys ever fans of the original Twilight Zone series?
Oh yeah.
Did you see the one with the a couple episodes with Shatner where
He's so bad.
he's with his wife and he's like, Linda, stop treating me like a retarded child. So good.
Yeah, it's interesting watching shows from that era, and the language that was used is just like not a problem. Like nobody thought a thing of it back then. And today, if you put that on air, you'd get Roseanne.
Well, I mean, words change meaning too. So there's certain words that were always terrible and should never have been said. But the word retarded was not used the way it was until relatively recently. So.
Right. Well, like they used to call those hospitals for people who are in fact mentally challenged, deaf and dumb facilities.
Correct.
I mean, now, I don't care what the era is. To me, that is absolutely morally reprehensible.
Yeah, I never, even as a little kid who couldn't really process these things, couldn't understand that that's why you would call people that.
But the word, sorry, go ahead.
It's totally wrong to call someone deaf.
But
Yeah, I want to call my congressman about. God damn it, I can't do it. I can't make that jump.
the word isn't the word retarded. That means like something slowing down, right?
Mm-hmm.
You retards.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say retards.
Means it slows down.
Yeah, it's like you've been delayed.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's like the
flight's been-
dictionary definition of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't have any wood. Dude, I'm so fucked.
Yeah, I guess connotations change over time.
Yeah.
Sure. Like
20 years from now, it's going to be, or maybe now 10 years from now, it's going to be SPED. Because special ed, when you see on the
Well,
name,
I don't know about you guys, but in my high school, it was very common to, connotationally say to somebody, "God, you are so gay," you know?
Me
That
and
was
Zach.
not common in my high school.
Me and Zach were in special ed.
That wasn't. Wait a minute. People didn't say that. I mean, I never really liked saying that, anyways. But no one ever in your high school said, God,
Well, I'm sure people said it, but it wasn't like a socially acceptable
oh,
thing,
well,
really.
maybe we're not as. Maybe we're not as.
I mean, you're from Kentucky. So.
Okay.
You know what's funny is I heard that so often, but I almost never heard it being used when actually trying to call somebody gay.
Yeah.
Like, it was never used as a homophobic slur. It was always just used as just like, let's just pick from a list of words our teenage brains know and use whichever the first one pops into mind.
I only remember the Grant Hill commercial where he's like saying that is not cool or whatever. Saying something's gay. Was it Grant Hill?
I don't remember that commercial at all.
Really? Is it? I think it was Grant Hill.
Really?
I mean, regardless who it was, I just don't remember there being a commercial like that.
Really? Having on. No, I mean, it was just very common in my high school. I mean, the language at that time to say things like, oh, that band, did you listen to that band? Oh, God, how gay was that? It's just something that I heard a lot.
Yeah, maybe it was more common in grade school, I think. I don't know, I just don't remember it a lot.
Well, I mean, South Park had an entire episode dedicated to that, actually.
Oh, yeah, well, with the motorcycle guys.
Why is nobody looking at us anymore?
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
Alright, it's time for another beer because Zach's taking too long to beat this game. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Jesus, what is taking so long here?
We've already established why.
Okay, I'm ready. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for you, damn it. All right, here we go. I just have to remember the order for with Clash Man with his weapon. I just have to remember the order.
You're gonna blow it, and then we have to do this level.
No, I think I can get it. I think I can get it in this go.
Because if you screw it up,
how many lives you got left here?
I've got a few. I mean, none.
Well, at least he's filling the whole time. Because if any normal person played it, would have been done an hour ago.
Yeah, this would have been beaten in 30 minutes ago at least.
Yeah.
Man, I should always solder during these streams because I'm getting so much work done here. This is awesome.
Okay, so.
But you're now watching like the failure and then feeling better about yourself.
Oh, but I am only listening to the failure. I'm not actually watching.
So what's the?
Man.
I don't think I can do this. I don't think I have.
Nope. You waste all your secondary powers on it everywhere.
So there's no way for me to have enough to do this, is there?
Well, you can just die.
I have no lives.
Exactly, which is perfect. You'll start at the beginning of the level with all your stuff filled, and then you won't make the same stupid mistake again.
Yeah. God damn it!
How you used 1, 2, and 3 completely? Jesus Christ!
I don't know. I lose all my e-tanks, don't I? At a continue screen, I think I do.
In this game, perhaps.
All right, let's give it a try.
You know what game is
one.
really?
God damn it!
Game is really punishing for that is restarting you with barely any health is the original Metroid on NES. Whatever you do when you die, you just start back with 1 energy tank at 30 health. That's it. It's brutal.
All of that effort spent trying to. It ain't no thing. I knew that was going to happen. Well, after this, it's just the boss rush, and then that's pretty much it.
I must be slowing down in my own old age. I'm only down 4.
Or maybe that AA program's working.
It's finally helping. We are ready to believe you.
We are ready to do you.
I think I drank all of Renee's beer.
We are ready to do you now.
I drank all of Dan's beer too, but that doesn't really count because he didn't have that many in his house.
I even gave you a beer.
You did, that's right.
Was it a Beck's?
No. We didn't. I didn't want to have to go cut the fence after.
That was the first beer I ever really drank was at Steve's house in high school. We drank some Beck's beers.
Where'd you get them? When you drank, when you were drinking, then did you say, "Ugh, that's good beer"?
Yes, sir.
Pussy.
I don't know.
I didn't like beer that much when I was a teenager. I preferred gin.
Oh, I mean, I thought it was disgusting.
Jizz?
Absolutely disgusting.
I didn't
Yeah,
prefer beer.
Even me, I got to admit, I loved Jägermeister, Sambuca, and Goldschlager all through high school. I think it was one summer I drank beer, but then it was just really grab a little bottle of that, and that was my thing for quite a while. And then once I hit 21, it's like, what exactly are you gonna do? Am I gonna go to a bar and like just drink Jaeger all night? Like, I know I had friends that did that, but I'm not that much of a madman, so that's why I switched over to and started appreciating beer.
When I turned 21, that's when I like stopped drinking mostly.
Yeah, you got all the drinking in the teenage years.
Yeah. Yeah, 21st birthday was at arcade where everything is a nickel. It's called Nickel City. And then we had I think we might have mentioned this before, didn't we? I don't know if I'm gonna repeat myself, but it was funny because the party room had these tables, and
Set up for like 5-year-olds.
right, it said my name, like age 21, and like Kevin, age 6, was like next to it.
Yeah, the other party.
And then we had like little slices of pizza and like cake and everything. And then I think later that night, people wanted to like do stupid shit, and so we went to the apartment and sat on the roof.
Yeah,
Voultar was there.
You had a sweet apartment in
Yeah.
college, man. It had a great view of the city down at the UIC campus, which is, I guess, like just west of downtown Chicago. Man, what an awesome view it had. I think we smoked clove cigarettes that night.
Yeah, just to complete the whole. Yeah, that whole.
Dude, by the way, Steve, I am absolutely loving the cicada sound that is coming from your mic. It is just roaring. It's awesome.
Is it? You can barely hear it. Should I close the window? I opened it because it's like really hot in here.
You know what else is hot?
That's awesome. I like cicadas and summer.
God
to me,
damn it!
Like,
Oh, that worked.
they go together.
So do you want to open or closed?
Whatever you want. I don't care. It's awesome though.
I'm already drenched, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I lived in a place called Newtown, Connecticut for a while as a kid. In the two places I lived, one was like in the middle of the woods, and the other one was like more in a downtown area. But I mean, downtown when I lived there, you know, it's not like Manhattan, right? It's like a bunch of houses on streets. But it's the cicadas would keep me up every time I heard them, and to the point where like now with like the horns and the screams and the murders in New York, I sleep right through that. But if there was some, if I was back in the woods and heard cicadas, there's no way I could stay asleep. I'd be up every fucking time.
It's a relaxing sound.
Yeah, I love the cicada sound, man. It's great.
Yeah.
I have a hard time falling asleep without it. Just doesn't feel like summer if there's no just a loud cacophony of insects.
All right, let's do this.
Near my house, they're making some little reservoirs to deal with water issues, and they're filling up with water, and all of a sudden it's like attracted all the frogs from the nearby forest, and it is just so loud and annoying. That is one sound that really I do not like listening to.
If I could choose, I would find a spot that was near on the water, on the ocean, with no bugs. Does that even exist? Because I'm not afraid of bugs, but goddamn do I hate them. Like, I'm looking down at my legs from when I got attacked in Canada, and there's just huge red welts all down both of my legs just from that. So.
Yeah, I remember the spot where, at the end of at the end of the trail at our ATV ride, where I stopped, and then you were like, "Oh my God, the bugs! Oh my God, the bugs!"
Oh, I was a gigantic bitch. A gigantic bitch, and I'm standing to it. Because listen, you couldn't when you stopped, right? Your head was swarmed with bugs. So you would, if I just stopped and stand still, like they're just covered in bugs. I know it's a stupid thing, but picture the Wicker Man. Picture Nicolas Cage in the Wicker Man. It was crazy.
And my opinion was, oh, there aren't that many bugs. We'll stop for a few minutes.
Let me back on that quad. I want to go do craziness. I was good though. I was polite. I respected your quad. I didn't fucking try to flip it or do a wheelie or anything.
No. Well, see, it's because we can go faster in those trails, but it was so dry all summer that the gravel was just loose on top everywhere, and there's.
Yeah, I know. I was eating your dirt the entire time because I couldn't eat because I didn't know where I was going, so I was just in a cloud of the dust that you kicked up the whole time we were riding.
Oh crap! I missed a super chat from like 20 minutes ago. Shrew Paulson.
Would you please pay attention?
I apologize, but thank you. Bless you, man.
It's too dangerous to go that fast because you just easily lose control. When it's muddy, it's no problem. But...
All right, where are we at, Zach?
You know what I'm playing? I'm dominating.
Renee, are you wearing a bodybuilding t-shirt?
Yeah, it came. I mean, so okay. Well, one of my best buddies from grade school is a sponsored amateur bodybuilder with this supplement company, Fusion. So he sends me like free shit sometimes. So
nice. Are you getting into bodybuilding?
I am. I mean, I don't have any like set goals in terms of I want to be this big or I want to be this % body fat or whatnot. No. I like to stay in shape. I've been seriously working out now I'll take this off. I've been seriously working out now since October last year, and I've lost. I used to be like 185 pounds. Now I'm down to 155, which is absolutely in the normal range for my height. So I mean, I've accomplished.
That's crazy. That is a lot of weight to lose. That is impressive, man.
I've accomplished that so far, and so now I'm just trying to, maybe bulk up a bit, try to get everything nice and toned, and so I've switched out some of the cardio for weightlifting now. So, and
you maxing out on the bench press?
I don't. So I work out at home. I have a bunch of free dumbbells, easy bar, and some like a little home gym. One of the things I don't have though is a bench press.
I don't remember what this guy's. Let's see. I think no.
So I'm doing. I'm doing like dumbbell presses with.
Nope. Come on.
40 pounds per hand, which is a lot more than pressing 80 because you have to balance the weight and whatnot.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I mean that's what I do now. I only have the weights where you can you turn the dials and it changes the weights, and I use that for everything. It's like the only lifting I do.
Renee, when you come to New York, we gotta freaking get you out to the gym with a beast. Then he'll show you some tricks, some powerlifting shit.
They're all saying metal is good for Wily Machine.
Metal is good? Okay.
Yeah, definitely, Bobby. I'm trying to.
It's heat first form, metal second.
Okay.
Yeah, Bowflex. That's what I have. The Bowflex, I think.
Ah, there
Maybe
we go.
not. I don't know. I have something. I don't know what brand it is.
Nick,
See, I
that's
have a
gay. No, I'm kidding. Kidding. Call back for anybody just showing up.
I have, just like a bench, adjustable bench, and then the free weights. That's all I do, really.
Shit. This guy's gonna give me
So
trouble.
I've been trying to keep it like at least 5 days a week, and right now what I'm doing is I'm doing about 45 minutes of weightlifting, which I try to keep the intensity fairly high. Like I'll do drop sets of everything, and that's like I'll do one set of an exercise to like a 10 rep failure, and that means like the 10th rep is practically impossible, and you're like you're trying as hard as you can. Then as soon as that's done, take a smaller weight and go to failure again. So drop the weight and go to failure. So that keeps the intensity level pretty high. And
metal.
yeah, and then after I'll do that for 45 to 50 minutes, and I'll end with like a short jog on the treadmill, like 20 to 30 minutes, depending on how I feel. Like I don't. I might do like a 10-minute or a 9-minute pace. I'm like nothing spectacular. I want to have like just a nice breathing pattern and nothing to like overexert myself after 45 minutes of weightlifting. Just keeps the blood flowing.
That's pretty boss. How many days a week did you say you're doing stuff?
5.
5 days a week. Yeah, pretty rigorous.
You know, I lift beers 6 days a week, and I alternate hands to make sure that I have equal amount of pressure on each side.
Alternating is really important. I hear Zach alternate hands.
Yeah.
At the new office, there is there's 2 gyms right on the other side of the hallway.
Yeah, so here's
a
a little behind the scenes. Anybody that listened to that interview and could hear clanking during the interview, that was what he's talking about.
Deadlifts.
Yeah.
When we first moved in there, like it was really loud music, and I'm like, what are they manufacturing steel in there? Like,
Yeah, I was picturing like a bunch of guys just like working in some metal shop, just like at midnight, getting like some startup. I don't know what I was imagining, but I had no idea that it was a weightlifting room.
I imagined that they were building like some like, I don't know, time machine or nuclear reactor or something in there.
Just like a bunch of guys with welders masks and giant, just like throwing stuff.
I want to die. I want to kill myself.
Then it turns out, it was just it's a bodybuilding gym. And
hey Zach, a couple tips from the chat. You can aim the metal blade diagonally and try the time stop.
Bob, I know how to play this game.
Apparently not. I've been watching you play the same fucking thing.
Yeah, this is embarrassing.
My diagonal shot isn't working. Kind of a side effect of kind of a side effect of putting the Game Boy D-pad in here is that it cripples the up and left and up direction.
Don't blame the controller.
I mean, it's okay.
Your own fault. But actually, I went into the CrossFit gym today, and I asked them for details. I don't know. I never tried that, so maybe I'll give it a shot.
Dude, CrossFit is so lame. It's just so overpriced. All those gyms. Did you ask him how much it cost?
No. He was in the middle. He was in the middle of like some lessons, so I couldn't really like talk.
My buddy pays like $175 a month for a CrossFit gym, and there's nothing in there really, right? Like a lot of CrossFit is just using like tires and other, some real basic stuff. It's not like a full-featured gym.
I think I'm gonna do their free week, and then I might just do it for a month, and I'll let you know how it is, because I heard that it's different depending where you go.
So what is CrossFit for us mere mortals here?
Well, first of all, before you can even do CrossFit, you have to get on the paleo diet. Otherwise, you're going to get ridiculed mercilessly.
Renee, it's white people flipping monster truck tires thinking they're badasses, and then they go back to their accounting job and talk about CrossFit. Wrong, Nick? Wrong?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty close. my buddy who's really into it is like all about
Well, they all are.
lifting heavy weights and maxing out and doing stuff like that. I don't really get it. I mean, I'm sure I don't fully understand what they do there, but
I'll give you an insider
yeah.
evaluation because I don't.
Yeah, my impression is a lot of the people that do it like aren't using proper form, and they're lifting more weight than they should, and that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Is there proper form for lifting a tire?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to put the cinder block there afterwards.
Oh, yeah, hey, Bob Mireille says she sees the Kilo doll.
I think I'll use metal just to make it fast.
So when Bob came up, he was asking about if we've ever seen some UFOs up here, and luckily there's a small village just outside of my town, Campus Casing, that's got this giant flying saucer as this town's mascot, because apparently years ago somebody saw a UFO over the lake. So we're like, fuck yeah, we've seen UFOs. But no, we've seen an identified flying object because we know that it's a flying saucer. So.
There you go.
But then so my daughter wanted to buy a doll, wanted to buy Bob a doll as there you go. So there's the Kilo, the mascot of Moonbeam.
Trying to find a place to put it to join me in the stream here. I don't know if I don't know where Kilo's gonna go, or you could actually see me. I hope this is. I'll have to wait for it to refresh, but yeah.
So I don't know if you realize, Bob, but Kilo, his name is metric, right? So I'm trying to assimilate you into the metric system.
Oh no! For that job I had to learn the metric system, so I'm already there.
Yeah, but now your country has to use it.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck. America.
No.
How many more failed space missions do we need before you guys get off the Imperial system?
Oh yeah. All right. Hopefully Kilo's in view now.
So it's Metal Man first, and then Heat, and then Heat on his second form. Where does Crash Man fit into that?
It's Heat, then Metal, and then Bubble.
That's
guy,
that's on
the next level. But I mean, the Heat is only good if you charge it. Otherwise, I think the P is better.
Now we move to Metal, right?
Yeah, or you could do it like a man.
Jesus Christ!
I
don't know how to dodge those orbs. Does anyone have any strategy on dodging those orbs?
Don't get hit by the orbs.
Woozle says metric equals garbage. I mean, as much as I bitch about the Imperial system, all my PCB work is in Imperial. I would not know where to begin setting up tolerances in a metric system on my PCB software.
Hey, Renee, can I get a liter of cola? Liter of cola?
Liter of cola is French.
Car Ramrod.
Cola now.
What do you think? What do you think? I drink all the time. I got my liter right here. Give me some cola.
I like. Did you saw the second one, right? Where he's in Canada, he orders a liter of cola, and they go, "Yeah, okay."
Yeah, I love that.
Oh, I didn't see the second one yet.
Oh, I loved both of those movies.
I don't do anything fun. That's why I'm here with you guys.
Oh.
The only thing you could possibly do when watching that movie is just get stoned, sit on the couch, and watch Super Troopers.
God, Bob, not everyone does drugs as expeditiously as you do.
I love it when people call pot a drug.
I do too.
Not exactly the same thing. Well, it depends on what kind, I guess. If you get a strong strain of sativa, yeah, strap in and good luck. But
I do a liter of drug all the time.
I drink plenty of coffee.
Oh my God, Renee's coffee is like fucking. All the hairs on my arms stood up after the first sip. That's some strong coffee.
That's.
Probably just making real coffee. You ever notice, like, in my experience, people from like our parents' generation have the wrong idea of how many scoops of coffee have to go per cup of water. Like my mom will do 1 scoop of coffee per 2 cups of water.
Oh my God, no!
And it's supposed to be the other way around, like 2 scoops per cup. So like all the coffee is just way under strain.
My mom makes, she'll fill up the coffee maker, so 12 cups, and she'll put 2 to 3 scoops of coffee. It's
so just water, yeah.
Yeah, you can barely taste it. So when I go to her place, she bought a second pot of coffee just for me, and she'll make me like the super strong stuff.
Yeah.
And then she'll drink her coffee.
Yeah. Most people don't even like coffee. They like coffee.
They like creamer.
flavored milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like
coffee
the taste of
flavored
it.
dessert
Yeah.
juice.
I drink my coffee black.
That's
Well, I
all
shouldn't say
see.
that. I shouldn't say that. I usually drink my coffee black, but on occasion, when I'm feeling fancy, I will get a cafe mocha. Which is basically chocolate with coffee flavoring.
Yeah, chocolate milk with caffeine.
With a hint of
bits.
coffee.
Yeah.
No, if I get anything else in coffee, it's just going to be an Americano. So it's basically still just a coffee.
Solid.
What exactly is that? Can you explain that?
It's just an espresso with hot water.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Apparently, the story goes, like soldiers in the war in Europe would ask for a coffee, so they would give them, because in Europe, if you ask for a black coffee, you're going to get an espresso most of the time.
Mm.
And they would go, oh, that's way too strong, so they would add hot water for the Americans, and so they called it an Americano. I don't know if that's true or not.
But yeah,
That's a good
it's
story.
got a bit of a different taste than a regular coffee.
Hmm.
Similar
There's a
in the
fancy
way,
place
like,
down the street from me that's not at all pretentious. It is the opposite of like the Brooklyn coffee shop. It's actually just nice people. You could ask questions, but it's so packed in there all the time. I always feel bad asking. I just order and get the hell out of there.
So,
I would compare it to the difference if you've ever tried like an iced coffee versus a cold brew. Americano would be like the hot version of cold brew. It's like a little bit smoother of a taste, a little stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
those Korean shops we went to had good iced Americano.
God damn it, motherfucker, man.
Yeah, it all depends on how strong they make it, right? Like,
Yeah.
How do you, I gotta take this headset off. I can't concentrate with all this yapping.
I think weed shops should be like coffee shops. I think you should be able to go in and be like, I'm Mr. High Anxiety. I don't have my headset on, so I'm gonna totally make fun of him now. I need to calm down. And I think you should just have, like in Connecticut, it's legal for you have to have a card. But I know somebody who is a pharmacist at one of those, and you walk in and you just describe what you're looking to get, and they help you out, and you walk away from it. So, very often I just like to chill out and shut my crazy brain down before bed. Sometimes I want to float above the couch while watching Super Troopers. I wish, if you go to a coffee shop and you're like, hey, I just want something, different tasting, like a nutty flavor, and just want to relax, they'll give it to you. And if you're like, I need to stay up for the next 16 hours to like write a paper, they'll do that too. It should be like coffee shops.
Should they?
QC Retro is reminding us that October 17th is the day in Canada. So Renee, I'll be coming back to visit.
Sure, no problem. Go pick you up again.
Okay, I'm not doing it. I can't do it.
You can't beat him?
No, I can't. I don't know what I'm not feeling it tonight. I really don't think I can tonight.
join the club, man. Welcome aboard.
I
Getting to that last stage.
don't think I
That's
can.
losing.
I can't run under the blobs. I've tried that. I can't do it tonight. I'll try it one more time. Does anyone have any good
Reaching.
strategies?
Yeah, people have been giving you strategies. You just don't follow any of them.
I know all about the weapons. I'm not asking about what weapons to use. I'm asking about the strategies to juke the orbs. I mean,
Run
I,
under.
I think you're trying to like just steamroll the boss, and you're not like.
Yeah,
being patient.
this reminds me of when I was playing the boss in Yeast Origins and getting frustrated.
Yeah. You gotta be patient and
Right, I understand that, but I need to know how
Spend more
to.
time dodging attacks than
Yeah.
attacking.
yeah.
I need to know how to dodge though. I can't jump over them, and sometimes I can't jump under them. I don't know how to juke those ball sacks.
People are just saying run under them. Don't ever jump.
Don't ever jump? Okay. I'll try that.
This is on the bouncing ones. Right?
Yeah. In the second form.
Yeah. But I think what people want you to do is stay on the ground and shoot diagonally up, but you said that
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll show you what that turns into.
but I mean, can you plug in another controller?
I don't think I
without
don't know.
ruining
It's
making
okay.
the game.
It's
game
okay.
crash?
I'll make it work.
The trick, Voultar, would have been to play the US game.
Yeah, on normal.
You know what's interesting though? I've beaten Rockman 2 like a bazillion times.
But now you're under pressure.
Would it be funny if like he had it loaded up and he quickly switched over? And then like at the end of the game, nothing's in Japanese anymore. It's like, huh.
That was pointless.
I need some 0.1 capacitors. Here.
Well, while we still have people watching this disaster, I'd like to remind everyone to make sure to smash that like button.
Oh Jesus, Nick!
Very
seriously,
important.
Nobody cares.
I care.
Dude,
My
man,
self-esteem is dependent on the ratio.
the ratio's blown out of the water, man.
This reel's been lasting me such a long time. I've had this for
Fuck!
a good 2 years now.
What is it a reel of?
It's a reel of 0.1 microfarad 50 volt 0603 caps X7R.
Ooh, good temperature ratings.
The most used component on everything, probably.
Okay, so let's just do a little prefacing here. Don't jump and try to aim diagonally. On the second run, you can't do that on the first run. What do you do on the first run? Because the
Heat man.
Heat Man, but that requires jumping. So you have to jump. I mean, you can. Okay. Doesn't matter. Let's get to Heat Man. All right, let's be patient. Let's not rush into this.
Console Kids asked where are the sponsors tonight. Well, Voultar is running the stream, so no sponsors tonight. But I'm sure there will be
That doesn't work.
some next time.
I'm gonna have to. That's bullshit. All right, let me try this with just the P.
Why are you standing where the balls like arc up? Why wouldn't you stand like at their global minimum?
All right, let me just avoid you.
All these questions are stressing him out. Gotta stop it, Nick.
I don't care if I die. I'm trying to learn the.
Take the derivative set to 0. That's where you should stand. Just saying.
So, like, the balls track you, Voultar, so you just, like, hug the left wall and then only jump over and go back as much as you need. Don't move in that much.
Yeah, I can't juke under those. But I understand what you're saying, Steve. They the ball sacks track you. The initial ones do.
Right.
The second set they just bounce. All right.
Calling it?
Not yet. I'm gonna do it one more time.
Yeah.
What's fucking ridiculous is you have to do this stupid boss rush every time.
It's not ridiculous.
It's
It's like normal NES
It's ridiculous, D.
tactics.
Okay. So the first set of ball sacks track you. The second ball sacks, you're not supposed to jump. Is the way I understand it.
You can do it, man. I believe in you.
That makes one of us.
Oh, forgot to tend this pad.
This is gonna turn into a Renee length stream.
Well, I actually beat my game.
Yeah, but you went into like triple overtime.
Yeah, it's just... Does it count if you can't beat it in 2 hours? After a while, enough's enough.
It'll start to get sore.
You know what? My pussy's sore right now, so leave me alone.
But, I mean, some games are meant to take longer than others.
I wonder if I could save Flash and use it on him. What do you think? Oh, that was really retarded. That was arguable. Let's see. What do I use against Airman? What do I use against? Oh no, I use. I'll start with the P first. I'll start with the P. And after I knock him down some, I'll just migrate to Flash. Let that cut him down. Oh Jesus, it's not going to be enough, is it? Ha! Man! Hate that. Level Man's going to be my undoing, isn't he? Oh! Ooh!
Oh, are you fucking serious?
It's horrible.
Oh my god. Dude, that's the fucking worst. At least there are some games that have logic where even if whatever their projectile hits you the second that they die, it still goes through you because, you know, that's it. And I love that because that's just heartbreaking. That's a very brutal nest thing to do right there.
I love it. Reminds me of
I
my
wouldn't
youth.
have it
ROM
any other way.
space. There's no ROM space without extra logic.
Yeah, there's no ROM space for operant conditioning. Alright.
I need.
So back to the exercise topic for a second.
Oh, why?
This year has been just a total disaster for me. I ran the mile race in May, and I had a pretty good
Cinco de Miler.
Yeah, the Cinco de Mile, and I had a pretty good time. I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to go for the time that I wanted to hit this year since I had a pretty good time. So I was training, and then I went to Chicago and totally forgot when the race was, and then I got back and just didn't go to the race because I forgot about it. So I missed the race that I trained like 12 weeks for.
I got it.
And
I got it.
Then I was kind of
pattern.
just running casually, and I was thinking, oh man, you know, it's got to be about 16 weeks until this this race that I want to run in November. It's got to be getting close, which is it's called the JFK 50 miler. And then I was like, all right, well, I go look. I'm like, yeah, it's like 16 weeks out. So then I went and looked up the training plan that I was going to do. And it turns out it's actually a 24-week training plan. So I'm like way behind. And so yeah,
Finally!
week 8 already. And so next week I have to do a 20-miler. And I haven't run more than 10 miles in like over a year. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to trying to catch up on this. It's going to be a disaster. I'll probably give up in like 2 weeks. Go back to just eating.
How fast do you have to run the 20?
Oh, I could.
Oh my God! Jesus!
There's no
Jesus
speed
is real.
in Ultra.
I wish I knew what you were yelling at. Oh,
I finally got his pattern, man. It was amazing.
So Nick, when people run a 50-mile race, like what kind of pace are they aiming for to be able to actually finish it?
Zach, how many of these are? This is the last one, right?
No, there's 7 more,
question.
Bob.
7. Fuck you. There's not 7 more.
I would say, well, it depends what you mean by people. Like the winners of this race in particular. The thing with 50-mile races, they tend to be on trails, and so like times are very course dependent. Like you can't say, like one is anything like the other. But this course in particular, I think the winning times tend to be in the 6-hour range, which is insane. I mean, for me, I would be happy if I broke 11 hours.
6 hours for 50 miles?
Yeah, let me look up the course and see what
It's fucking nuts.
See what the results were last year. 2017. Yeah, I mean, it's a bunch of crazy people.
Like we're talking like sponsored athletes at this point, right?
Yeah, they might be, but not like the type of sponsored athlete. Oh, actually, it's way lower than that. Holy shit. 2016, the winner was in 5 hours and 21 minutes.
Wow. Oh my God.
They got owned.
That is roaring fast. That's crazy.
A ridiculous pace.
2017, the fastest was 5:45. I think 2016 was pretty quick year. And that's not like one of the athletes that I'm aware of is like being crazy fast.
How fast are you, Nick? I mean, in reality, do you have a big dick? You can tell me the truth.
At a 50-miler, like I said, I would be happy to break 11 hours.
What would a good time be for a 50-hour?
50 mile.
Well, as I said 2 seconds ago, it depends on the course.
If it's not a lot of incline, pretty flat level geography.
There's not really 50-milers like that. Most 50-milers are on trails and with elevation.
But what kind of dumbass runs for 40 goddamn miles? That's what I want to know. I mean, seriously.
I mean, that like the main ultra marathon distance, I would say, is closer to a 100-mile race. And those guys, I think, winning times in like the big races tend to be in like the, I'm not sure, probably 14.
That is so insane to me. You would need to be running from the scariest thing on the planet or running towards the greatest thing that has ever lived in human history to run for 100 miles.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
There it is, boys.
Training for that surely is good for your health, but running for that long is surely detrimental for you that day.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, look at it. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah.
It's not good for you.
Hey, we have a winner. Do we not?
It's over, man. That's Cockman too.
Yeah, you don't do ultras for your health.
GG, boys. GG.
I mean, building up to that surely is good, right? But
some of it, certainly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're probably doing damage at the when you're going out for 4 or 5 6-hour runs.
Jeez, I would like to personally thank Zach for showing us what a mediocre run of this game looks like.
Oh, you're quite welcome, Bob. You're quite welcome. Anytime. Rockman 2 in the house.
Mediocre. You're giving him a lot of credit.
So Paul Ramos says, so the GB pad's not good in NES controls for diagonal movement?
Yeah, I want to take this. I want to take this D-pad back out, and I'm going to put the NES D-pad back in. It's really no good. I mean, I swear to God on my life, it's really not good for. I never tested the diagonals, but this is actually a really good game for that. But diagonal shots, no, it's no good. It ain't no good. But the A and B buttons are phenomenal. I will stick by that. Everybody should try that. Try it.
I do. I distinctly remember at some point tearing apart a Game Boy to put NES controller buttons in it and liking it better.
Well, that was Rockman 2, not Mega Man, not the easy mode.
Good job.
Well, I'm glad that I didn't join the fucking pathetic skinny wiener losers club that Nick is the president of. And clocked in at 2 hours and 17 minutes.
Party of one.
I guarantee that there's no way that when it comes my turn to stream, I'm not going to beat whatever game it is that we're doing.
But are you going to intend to beat the game? Are you just going to play game to play game? Are you really going to focus to finish whatever game you choose?
I think I'm going to just go with just enjoy the game and play it, because I think for me, I just play the game.
Yeah, just play the fucking game.
Is that
play
more?
The fucking game.
What game do you think you'll choose? Are you going to be next?
I mean, if you guys want me to, I certainly will. But my setup seems to be working now. For me, I like the Metroidvanias. I think are my favorites. So I do like just sinking into a game and doing whatever. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it depends what game you guys think I should play.
Would you like to do a Castlevania, Bob? Castlevania 1, maybe.
Maybe I do a Castlevania I've never played before. Maybe I do one of the other 3D Game Boy Advance ones or something.
Play the new Castlevania that just came out for Switch.
Oh, Bloodstained?
Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
see that.
No.
I don't want that.
Yeah,
ruined.
all right. So first of all, not only do I really not like the 8-bit Castlevanias, but after watching Carsey's No Damage run of that, I don't even want to boot the game anymore. I'll never that guy's skill level. I just don't even want to do that. So
I don't know then.
Why don't you get good then?
Yeah, why don't you get good, Bob?
Yeah, somebody mentioned Chasm. I've heard about that game. That's on my list. I really want the other.
I sent that to you a long time ago.
Are you and Adam
because
Corlett
Yeah.
going to play Jism together?
I can't do Hollow Knight. It's just annoying me. I'm at one of the first bosses, the chick with the cape, and I can't stand it. It's so fucking annoying. You have to just it's not fun. It's just not fun for me. So I gotta find the next one.
Why do they even make it if you can't beat it?
How about Holy Diver?
No, I think that would be way too hard for me. But I still like to play the game.
I saw I saw Steve get fucking destroyed in Holy Diver. He was doing well, I won't lie, and then he wasn't doing well. It's pretty embarrassing.
That stage with the guys respawning.
Yeah, somebody mentioned Guacamelee. I heard that was really great too.
Listen to that 2C33 audio. Not that shitty EverDrive audio either, the good kind.
Are we gonna try to do some kind of battle against each other stream? Do we want to do a Mario Kart night or something?
I would love to do on this. I mean, I have a Switch. I mean, or a Wii U. Who all here has?
I got both.
I'll
rather
stay
do the
out of it
Switch,
because
though.
I don't want to embarrass all of you. So.
Uh-huh. Well, no,
I got a
Mario
Wii
Kart
U.
has that thing where it's the AI in it makes it so that if you're the loser, your cart suddenly goes a little faster and you get all the best items. So it's even if you suck at it or even if you're really great at it, it's still a combination of luck. So
I could pick it up on Wii U if we're gonna do that.
you don't have a Switch yet?
Nope.
Bob, you say that with a certain tone of shame in your voice. You don't have a Switch
I
yet?
just assumed that he would have gotten one just to mess with. But
You know? Oh, I like that
All
palette
right,
the
so
best.
roll call. Who here has a Switch?
Me.
Me.
Steve doesn't, and Renee doesn't, I don't think.
Okay, so who has a Wii U?
Me.
Hey,
I
Still-
have a Wii U.
No Steve and no Steve for the Wii, right?
Nope.
Wii.
so on Switch it'd be 3, and on Wii U it'd be 4.
Isn't 4 the max?
I think
No.
we should just send Steve and Renee a Wii or a Switch and go from there.
There you go. Yeah, let's just dip into the
I'm
HD.
never gonna hook it up.
Let's just reach in deep into the pockets of the retro roundtable.
So I think you should all come visit me and we should play Towerfall.
What's that? Sounds like a, game you play when your wife's away. You know what I'm saying?
It's a local multiplayer game, like fast twitch. Basically, level starts 4 people planted randomly on a map. You can shoot arrows. You like start with 3, and it's just like one hit kills, and levels change kind of randomly. Just watch a YouTube video of it. It's a super fun game to play.
It's okay.
I'll take the train down. I'll take the train down and visit you, Nick. We'll do a
You
stream
don't
on
like
there or
you don't
something.
like Towerfall? I like it a lot.
I like crawl better.
I haven't played Crawl.
I was looking at Bob's airfare to come here. I was shocked by how much less expensive it was than I anticipated.
Yeah. Yeah, me
I got
too.
my passport photos done as soon as I brought Bob to the airport, so hopefully I should be able to leave this country.
Yeah, we gotta get you
Really,
out.
what was the airfare? Because I've noticed that airfare seems to be a lot more expensive lately than it was like even 5 years ago.
Well, Porter Airlines, while I actually think they were great, they have a bit of a scam where if you just buy tickets, it was like after taxes and everything round trip $380, which wasn't bad, but they don't let you pick your seats. And when you go to check in, they try to charge you for seats, so you have to like very carefully select to just check in without, and then they end up assigning you a seat. So otherwise, it would have been almost $200 more. But yeah, $380 if you just buy the ticket.
That's the budget airline model.
The good news is though for Porter, they didn't have any. There was no middle seats. It was the small planes, the small propeller planes.
Okay,
So the
2 and
worst
2.
thing, the worst thing that you could get was like an aisle all the way in the back. So
Yeah, I mean, who cares at that point?
yeah, that's what I thought.
Who cares? Boys,
All right,
it was
guys,
done.
good stream.
It was done. I did it.
Zach did it.
Alrighty.
So-
Well, you can go ahead and shut down the stream. It's not my job this time.
Well, let's close this out properly. Let's not be, dicks about it. Thank you, everyone, all the 74 amazing people who came out to watch this, and always we appreciate your bodies. In addition to all of our fantastic super chat donators,
Hell yeah.
we really, really do appreciate that. Well, we don't see any of that money, but Nick does. So,
Yeah, I hoard that all.
so Nick's hoarding the dollars, and he's got a little treasure chest under his bed. He's putting all the super chat money into, and all right, thank you. I had a great time, and maybe next time I think it's Bob's turn, and then maybe Steve's turn to stream all over our faces.
I'm down.
That's right.
That's right. All right, so you guys have a fantastic evening, and we'll catch you later.
See you guys
Later.
later. Thanks again.
See ya.